Live from the Ballz Visual Radio Studios, this is the Blades on Ballz show. And now, here's your host, the voice of South African rugby himself, Hugh Bladen. Hugh, it's over to you.
Kevin, is that the president?
Rugby.
Is that the president of the new Super Rugby Union?
Are you well played?
Didn't see you on Saturday, but you must have been a nervous wreck.
I think it's putting it mildly, Bladesy. I think I've only started to recover now, and I'm still not quite there.
You're
But,
lucky. Kev, this is Sid. Yeah, I'm still trying to recover, but I couldn't even come
You're my brother.
Well, Kev, how are you,
You're
bud?
my brother.
Yeah, cool, eh?
Great, thanks.
Well done.
Mike.
Congrats,
Great,
my man.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sid. Are we live? Are we talking?
We're
Are
live.
we,
We're live on air.
Are we live?
Thanks for
Okay.
talking. Yeah, you're getting
Okay.
used to being live with us on Ballz Radio on a Monday morning.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we
No,
have
look, we're
guys.
ecstatic from our side, Bladesy.
We have guys tweeting us with sort of the first question, Kevy, and this is really from an interest point of view. It's not a criticism point of view or anything. Certain guys in the gym told me that they had phoned CompuTicket and could not get a ticket because they said it's sold out. And, you know, quite clearly the stadium was not packed. What is the reason for that?
Look, I think we had about 45,000 there, which was brilliant.
Oh no, I'm not saying no way am I being critical, but it had been said that it was a sellout, and then quite obviously there were empty seats on the east stand.
Plenty, yeah.
What we did is we also went on a campaign, as they did down EP King's Way, and I think in a situation like this, we tested a few waters. You know, people like our schools, I know which you at one stage were very encouraged by, is to get the schools here. We'd actually donated a sizable chunk of that gate to schools.
Right.
To encourage the youngsters to come and watch the game. So, unfortunately, not everybody turned up that should have turned up from that point of view. We sold a large chunk, but we in fact gave away a lot to schools, rugby. And I don't want to lay the blame to them, but, maybe it wasn't entirely possible for them to get here.
No, I can understand
People were still
that.
coming in, and, sometimes accessibility is not great.
You've now answered our question, I think I said.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely. Because
But it was a fabulous crowd, hey?
Yeah, it was a fabulous crowd.
Somebody's tweeted
that was a big statement. Eh? You must remember, it's not a Sharks Lions or let's say a Bulls Lions. This is just all Lions supporters that we. I think there was probably 20 EP supporters that were in the stadium.
Absolutely. No, they came out in force. We've had a tweet from Vion Bester, who says, and a 20 rand a ticket, question mark. That was the reason for the big crowd. Can you answer that?
Blasey, I think if one looks at, we've all in South Africa possibly got to look very closely at that aspect, the cost of living, disposable incomes, the pressures that a lot of people find themselves under these days. And obviously the business model must work. But you take Barcelona, you take Real Madrid, apparently these are the prices that they sell their tickets for. But their stadiums are packed weekend after weekend.
Yeah.
If you're taking a family of 4 or 6 at 400 rand a head, it's becoming impossible to do. So we've got to look closely at ticket pricing, and I would hazard to say that our CR Money Boyson will have a close look at that one.
Yeah.
It worked, but I think we've had such a great response from all over the country, from all over Lions territory, that the people were going to come and vote with their feet on Saturday.
Yeah, terrific. That's absolutely fabulous. I mean, now, Kev, what is the way forward? I mean, in terms of being able to secure players now, what is the Lions' way forward?
Bladesy, I was at a breakfast last week and I was asked that question, and my reply was that, we will be going out to secure the service of a couple of players. And the guy retorted back to me and he said, no, we've got enough within your structures. Let's build our young team. And that's been our philosophy, also budgetary constraint-wise as well as philosophy. We will have to bolster certain positions. JC Janssen van Rensburg just left for France. Hendrik Rueck has just left. we've got quite a severe injury on our scrum halves at the moment. So there are areas we will have to very closely look at what we need to up our game at, using Mart staffs like the Chiefs or the Crusaders or the Bulls for that matter, and say we got to strengthen, we got to up our game in our positions to compete with those people. So realistically, we'll be looking very closely at that entity, Bladesy.
Yeah.
And Sid, and we'll be making the necessary adjustments. Not that we don't have faith in what we got, and I think also as far as Arcus is concerned, he's done an amazing job taking over under very difficult circumstances, Blades, and you know he's really proven that our South African contingent is adequate and is very good and is better than most people had expected.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Kev, that I've just been. Just before you came on the line, Sid and I were singing the praises of not only Johan Ackerman, of JP Ferreira, and also of Swace de Bruin. You know, the whole coaching staff and the way. What has really impressed me is the way Johan Ackerman has come forward, basically as a public speaker. And the way he's developed. It's absolutely fabulous to see guys develop like that.
You know, Blades, thank you. That is absolutely correct. But if you're not creating the platform for the people to do that, if you think of it under the previous coaching regime, he was tucked away in the corner, and you never really got to know what Arcus really was about.
Yeah.
So when John departed the scene, and I went to Johan Ackerman, I said, "Would you take over this position for us?" He didn't hesitate. He just jumped at it, and we've never looked back. In fact, Blades.
Yeah.
He's been a great asset to us. He's done wonderful work, and it only spells good things for us going forward, because I think we've had such a rotation of coaches in this union the last couple of years, and you cannot create stability, you cannot create growth without having that. And the guys respect him.
I was going to say, Kev, the boys like him a lot. They'll do lots for him, no doubt.
City, you go back in my day as well. It was all about that coach,
Oh, yes.
If he commanded the right respect, boy, you went out and you really delivered the goods for him. And I would also, the same breath, Bladesy, compliment Matt Sexton down at the EP.
Yeah.
I think he's done an unbelievably great job with those guys.
Yeah,
unbelievably in a short space.
Yeah,
no doubt about that,
Yeah, no, well, that's good to hear. And I was also just saying, even before Sid came into the studio, was that promotion relegation games are really heartbreaking stuff,
Bladesy, it's very sad for me. It's very sad. I've said that from the outset. This process was wrong.
Yeah.
And I think EP Kings have shown clearly, albeit that there were a lot of players brought in, they have the passion. They have the infrastructure maybe to compete in Super 15 and 15. And we should have a sixth franchise. And hopefully there will be a way. But that remains to be seen, Blades.
Is it being discussed?
It's been arduous, it's been tiring, it's been taxing,
yeah.
And it's been so unnecessary. And I just want to say in defence, and I know what a discerning doyen of rugby you are. You've got to have been with all your great experience, Blades. But what I observed on Saturday is that the guys were finished. The emotion, the pressure just got to everybody. It just got to everybody. That. There's no doubt about that.
Like even I said, Kev, I'm still trying to recover. But
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Sydney's saying what you're still trying to recover.
Oh, they took it out of me, Kev.
Well, I didn't hear from Sid on the Sunday. I can only have imagined there was something wrong.
God, I was scared I'd come up there and indulge in too much whiskey. Yeah.
Another Twitter we've just had from Vion Besta is, the Lions contracting. Are the Lions contracting Kings players now? Question mark. I mean, it's just a question from one of our viewers.
I've got to see what Uckers and them say. There's some damn fine players that have come to the fore there,
No doubt.
And we might.
They contracted some of our players or Lions players when the Lions dropped out, didn't they?
Well, it's Bondisi Marco. You've got Kevin Bass now. He's gone overseas. You've got David Bulbring. You know that Engelbrecht, the 8th man, who's been brilliant this season, comes from here. He used to be old Monos.
He's a Monos boy, yeah.
He's been an absolute revelation, that kid, you know. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think Ronnie Cook has also been a wonderful, and also Whitehead. There's some brilliant players in that side.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would be sad to see them sort of left in the junior leagues for 2 years, because that's going to affect them for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, another big revelation, and you that can talk both of you, City and Bladesy, was Katrikilis. I mean, Katrikilis for me was, my estimation, probably the best player from South Africa last year.
Yeah, and you know, coming out of St. John's and really didn't make the Craven Week side. Well, and went down. You know, it shows you again the Varsity Cup. Players coming through the Varsity Cup, I think, is a very important thing. So, UJ are a very important part of Lions rugby.
We've got to tap more into that process, and I think UJ are busy restructuring as well in a lot of ways. And I think there's big things waiting for that varsity. You know, I think in the years gone by, Tuckies have been a big supplier for Bulls players.
Oh,
as
huge,
you know, Blades.
Huge. Yeah,
they've been definitely. You only think of the Varsity Cup produced a Josh Strauss, and which was basically never recognised before that.
Yeah,
did well for us. Now in Scotland, I actually don't know how he's going. I hope it's going well.
It's quite interesting. Maybe there's a gap for somebody in journalism to run a column on where are they now. And
very good idea.
Because, as you say, Josh Strauss is almost a name that, in the heat of the moment, has been sort of forgotten, because the new boys. You're only as good as your last game, and the new boys come on the scene. Kevy,
we've been we've been very fortunate.
Yeah,
we've been very fortunate, to have a dearth of loose forwards. If you think of the amazing work Jaco Kriel has done, Derek Minnie, Warren Whiteley, Willie Brits, and these acts have really stepped up, these kids, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, man. If you take pound for pound of Jaco Kriel, he makes me think of our previous old guys from our days, Spanner Martins. Hard as 10 nails, these guys,
Spanner Martins.
Physically, you would never say so. You would remember Spanner Martins.
Very well.
West Rand.
Very well.
And a number of other guys around that era. Piet Greiling and Simon Norwood.
Yeah.
Not the biggest of men, but their hearts were 10 times the size of their bodies, eh?
Kevy, with the Curry Cup coming up next week against Cheetahs, you're going to use the same boys, or are you bringing younger players in for the Curry Cup?
No, we'll be using the same boys, Bladesy. City, we've got to fill the gap, obviously, where the JC's left. We got this youngster Miller that's come from the Free State, the lock, who's coming to join us in Hendrik Roy's place. But by and large, it's going to be the same side.
Same side.
So
we got one boy in that Franco.
We've also got to start to... Yeah. We've also... Well, Franco's going, he's now with the Springboks now as well.
Yes,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's in the Springbok squad, eh? Yeah.
So we've actually got our full squad
we've
there.
got Stefan Greef there, which is good.
Yeah.
JJ Breed, youngsters. Yeah, that's an opportunity for them, eh?
Kevy, where is Hendrik Root going?
He's going to France. I'm not quite sure what club he's going to, but he's going to France. Likewise with JC Janssen, he's going to Bayonne.
Yeah.
Actually, a second league club. The front row Gert Miller that used to be with us is there with them.
Right.
So he's gone to join him there, and I just hope it works out for these guys. Because, you and I know the grass is not always green on the other side.
No, it's not always green, and I know, the weather's crap and the training facilities. I remember Gary Teichmann, when he played over at Newport, used to lie on his bed. He said, all I used to do was look up and see the pound notes sitting on the ceiling. Because the training facilities were lousy, the weather was lousy, he was homesick. You have a problem in keeping your family and that sort of thing all together. And it's not as you say, it's not as green as it may seem. But
but this feedback's got to come back to the players, because money's talking, but it isn't everything, eh? It's not everything, eh?
Am I right in saying?
Yeah. Sorry, Blades.
No,
We
sorry.
sit with as much as 300 players overseas at the moment, hey?
300 in
Yeah,
total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've just shocked me, Kev. But I've got
Well,
No, there's 300 of our players
if you
right
go-
out overseas countries, yeah.
Yeah, if you look in the SA Rugby Annual, the latest SA
Yeah.
Rugby Annual, there are about 3 pages of them.
go on.
Yeah.
It's
And
scary
guys
stuff.
that
It's
I've
actually scary.
never even heard of.
Well, there's
Whole
se-
host of them.
There's 7 in the Springbok
Yeah.
squad, the latest Springbok squad.
Yep.
7 overseas
Yep.
players, yeah.
Sydney,
Yeah,
just
it becomes
sorry.
a-
Kevin,
Kevin, I just got to read out one tweet here. Blaze and I learning about tweets and Twitters and all that type of thing. Kevin, one guy, Leon Petzer, he says, as long as the stadium is full, who cares what the price is? Once they fill it up, they can slowly increase the cost. Lovely. Good for you. So start off
It's
cheap and let's
excellent,
prove.
excellent.
Get bums on seats and we're over away.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You know, and I hesitate to say that's what happened down in the EP Kings. They had the same policy, and then they managed to fill their stadiums on a regular basis.
Oh, they
you
did,
know,
eh?
so,
Yeah.
that's the criteria. I would say very much so. City.
Yeah, guys. Bucks.
Kevy, just explain to us. I think I explained it correctly, saying, the players have agents, and the more the agents can get for the players, the bigger their commission is, and that type of thing. How does it work?
You're absolutely in the cold hearts of the fact that is how it works. That is sincerely how it works. And what I've said as well, one must also be perhaps sympathetic to the players. It's their careers. They've only got a short career life, and where they can make their money, I suppose they must go. And I'm saying that so tongue in cheek because as you and I in City, and you were the guys I followed, you were my young heroes, and I had the great privilege of playing with you guys. Is that we played it for the love of the game, but that is only part of it these days, where it was predominantly the case in our days, Bladesy, City.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's the money that talks. It's unfortunately the money that talks.
Yeah.
And we're becoming. It's affecting the game, and one can now see. And I questioned the great Donnie Craven about withholding professionalism. I can understand it in a large extent. Maybe we got to think in South Africa as the New Zealanders, the Australians are doing, that there must be sort of central contracting. And players that don't represent South Africa or don't play in a premium competition cannot become a Springbok then.
We had Niles
That
Botha.
might assist the process, eh?
We had Niles
Yeah,
Botha
sure.
on the program, Kevin. I said to him, which, I said, gosh, it just doesn't seem to be loyalty these days, and it's all about the money, if you're not a Lions
Yeah.
boy. And Niles said, Sid, what would you do to I think I'd also go. I mean, with the money and the exchange
Yeah.
rate today, and you come back a millionaire. So,
Well,
there's no two ways about that.
you got to, frankly, you've got to come back to make it. You've got to come back a multi-millionaire.
yeah.
To
That's
to
it.
secure your future. Kevy, I'm
That's
sure
it.
that
Sorry, Kev.
popularity.
It's a very, very tough call. It's a very, very tough call. Rugby's culture is based on loyalty. It's based on camaraderie. If we got to descend into that quagmire of pure professionalism, you might as well just run out with a sponsored jersey, not even whatever the sponsored jersey wants. And I'd hate to see rugby to fall into that sort of category. And I also remarked the other day that and there's one thing in this British and Irish Lions tour of Australia that I saw is the pride that the British Lions had in their colours. Right down from the players to the administrators in their attire. The respect and the body language of those people in their colours was immense, was enormous for me. And that is what our sport is about. We have to get back our respect and our love for our Springbok. We have to get back that respect and our love for our provincial. I'm not saying it's not there, but it's waning, Bladesy, it's waning.
Yeah, sure. It is. Kevy, Sydney, have you got any more questions for Kevy?
No, just again, congrats, Kevy, and just tell the boys they showed us the passion that we asked for, and it's magic. And look forward to the Curry Cup now, Kev, and I'm sure
Thanks, City,
see
man.
you not in not
Thanks,
too distant
City,
future, my bud.
Yeah,
thanks,
Kevy,
brother. Thanks,
I'd
Sid,
say
baby.
we know how hard you've worked, and
Yeah.
and the back side, back boys have worked, the back benches, how hard you've worked. So well done.
Oh, wie een beste.
Everybody loves a winner. Kev, I bet we're probably the
True
fifth
bloody.
radio station that have wanted to speak to you.
I got to read one more
Thanks,
thing here.
Ballzy.
One more tweet, Kev.
Yes.
Vian Bester says, best tournament for a rugby player, Curry Cup or Super 15. I believe, he says,
Agree.
it's the Curry Cup. And I love Curry Cup.
Agree.
I really do. The Curry Cup to me
Ballzy,
is...
my parting shot is and it's the first time that I've lost and I've actually won.
Yeah, there you
I can't,
I love it.
it's the first time I've lost in my life, but I've actually
You
won.
lose a game and you win, yeah.
Give it
That's
back.
why it's so sad. That's why it's so it's almost sort of gut wrenching, you know,
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
there
it was
were
gut-wrenching. But
two points in it. I mean, holy crow.
But you know, as sporting events go, Bladesy said it was a massive spectacle, and
Wow.
you know, if you take the Super 15 final pulled in 25,000, and the promotion relegation game pulled in 45.
44, yeah.
It's quite a
Fabulous,
difference.
yeah.
You got to keep that Ellis Park
Thanks,
full,
that's
Kev.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do
Anyway,
that with you
Kev,
guys. Thanks always for everything,
yeah.
Bladesy, and Sid, you're wonderful, wonderful Lions people, and always have been great service to this province.
Thanks for
Thanks,
Love you guys.
Thanks
Love
for
you,
your
Kev.
time. See you on Saturday.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Bladesy.
Stevie.
You
Thank
silly
you.
man.
Bye.
Sid.
Bye.
Bladesy.
The great Kevin de Klerk.
Curry Cup.
Who,
Can I answer
yeah.
Peter Botkin?
Yeah.
I tell you that, Peter, the Lions are going to win it. And that was my next point. Because, you know, you look at all the top provinces, Sharks and Western Province and all the guys are playing Springbok rugby again. And this is how the Lions won it in 2011. You know, we got right through to the final, or semi-final. Then Western Province bought all their 2011 Springboks from the World Cup, put them in. Sharks put all their Springboks in. And the Lions still beat them. So I say the Lions for the Curry Cup this year.
Well, you know, Sydney is not biased. He's super biased.
That was the Blades on Ball show. Join the voice of South African rugby on your wireless next Monday for more unbelievable memories and banter. Until then, stay classy, like 20-year-old Glenn Morangi classy.